fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
This is the Crack King from the Crack King Podcast, and we're here with another music review of Faith by Pop Smoke. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. This is his second album after his untimely demise from a home invasion in California. I really didn't know him until he died or know any of his music. Like Biggie say, you're nobody till somebody kills you. When he died and they started releasing his project that was produced by 50 Cent, his first project, and we have Faith, I can't say anything bad about this album. The one thing I would like to say as a consumer, it was a little bit overkill. It was 20 tracks. Don't get the Crack King wrong. 18 out of 20 tracks were bangers. Give me half of that this quarter. Give me another half the next quarter. Don't give it to me all at one time. Not that I presume to know his work ethic before he died, if he was on some Tupac Machiavellian type level where he recorded all day, every day, and he had so much music he put out. After almost 10 songs or 13 songs, the theme of the album was gone. And then after that, it was just, I guess, maybe Bowman songs. I don't know. But there was a theme to this album. I want to say he had a family member speaking on his behalf on a lot of the tracks. His mother, or I'm assuming his mother. I didn't look into it. I just listened to the music. It was reminiscent of the Black album, how Jay-Z's mother spoke about him growing up on each track, showed you his progression and where he wanted to go via her. And it was the same thing on this Faith album, but the difference was Jay-Z was still alive. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. He's not living right now. We're gonna get into the ones that moved the Crack King. The initial song, Good News. Like I said, his mother would come on there speaking. His mother or a family member comes on there speaking. Let's look into that and see if that was his mother on the track. Just give us a second. We're fact checking this shit. It was his mother speaking about him. So like I said, it was reminiscent of the Black album. Good News came in. This youngster's style at 20, his lyrical content was in a gray area, because you know the Crack King is always speaking about right now that all of our music, all of our black music and our black culture needs to be positive and needs to be pushing towards uplifting the black community. And his lyrical content kind of strays on that line in the gray area. He hasn't picked a side, and he will never pick a side because he's dead right now. We get to More Times, something you never heard before. Another thing is his voice is really distinct. He has that deep, raspy voice, which everyone loves. We get to Tell the Vision, featuring Kanye West and Pusha T. And if this is a precursor of Kanye's new album, culturally and musically, he cannot be touched. If Pusha T and Kanye get together on a Dre and Snoop type level, they will not be touched in hip hop. They will be the alpha males of the rap industry. We get into Manslaughter with Rick Ross, which Rick Ross is doing Rick Ross, and he hasn't changed that in 5 years. And that is him. He is that, Rick Ross. We get into Top Shotter with Pusha T. It had a reggae feel to it, just like if you're from Brooklyn and you grew up in Brooklyn, you know that rockers reggae culture is really heavy in Brooklyn. Beat the Speaker, Coop, What's Crackin' with Takeoff, Mr. Jones with Future doing his thing like always, Woo Baby with Chris Brown, and that's when it kind of just faded off into just songs that people just wanted to do with him, I'm assuming. Like I said, I'm not being biased because he's from Brooklyn. I'm just saying this man was really talented. If he were alive, he wouldn't need these features or these producers, because his lyrical content and his voice elevate him further than a lot of his peers. With it being a little bit overkill, a little bit long, it knocks his rating level down to maybe an 8. But when it comes to lyrical content, he speaks on his life, his mother speaks, and sets the tone for all of the songs that she's speaking on, and even his flow. The executive producer did a good job. He spoke or rapped about his rise, ultimately his demise, on songs through his lyrics. I don't know why that is a tone for our young black males, but it needs to stop being that. And we need to stop being so envious of each other, and we need to start pulling each other up as we elevate. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. This is the Crack King from the Crack King Podcast, and that was my review of Faith by Pop Smoke. I give it an 8 bars, I say.
The Crack King Podcast, a breath of fresh air with new kicks on.